And she was stuck in a vicious cycle in which she was so afraid to be in front of a group that she would just turn bright red, flush completely, and lose all of her train of thought and instantly go into massive fight or flight. And so she came to me and she said, I need to stop blushing. And I said, well, maybe. Let's take a look. And so I put her through some exercises and I had her give some speeches, stand up and do some public speaking in front of me. And yes, sure enough, within 10 seconds, she turned bright red and was sweating bullets, and every bit of content and anything she wanted to say flew right out of her mind. It was gone. And she said, see, I have to stop blushing. I have to stop blushing. And I said, well, instead of that, what about if we just focus on anchoring your feet to the floor? And she looks at me, why? Why should I do that? So I showed her some video that I had quickly taken. And I showed her that, in fact, she was shifting her feet constantly, not even every second. I'm talking like every half second, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, endlessly shifting her feet in a pattern that was completely different about how she spoke in real life, if she was just talking to a friend in the hallway or something like that. So I literally got down on the floor with her and I held her feet in place on the floor. And I gave her feet that tactile feedback that they needed to feel what being anchored to the floor felt like. And then I had her talk. And then, as though it were magic, she stopped blushing. Now, I knew that would happen, or at least I had a very strong hunch it would happen, because what she was trapped in really was this vicious cycle where one bad habit was compounding and taking all of her communication in a bad direction. And as soon as she began to speak more like how she spoke in real life, grounded feet, allowing breath to drop in and allowing her diaphragm to drop down, her lungs to fill with air, that physical bearing all of a sudden calmed her down and she didn't blush. And as soon as she didn't blush, she had this realization that she was not blushing.